Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Freestyle Talks. We are back in English after a long period of absence. So, we will be talking about yoga this morning in Mozambique, afternoon in Fiji. So, tune in. It will be a very exciting conversation about the art of yoga. I'll see you now. So, hello everybody once again. My name is Carlos. I'm your host. Welcome to Freestyle Talks. I'm speaking from Maputo in Mozambique. We are here to bring you a very interesting topic. We'll be talking about the art of yoga, and we'll be in a great company today with our guest, Mark Whitwell. Let me call Mark to join us in the conversation right now. But before, I will invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel to be updated and always aware of what's coming here on our platform. So, welcome everybody. Let's do this. Let me invite Mark to join us.
Hey, brother.
Hello, Mark.
Hey
Welcome.
there. How wonderful.
We made.
Yeah, Mozambique.
Thank you, Mark.
PG. Yeah. I hope the
It's an
quality
honor.
of the reception is all right.
That's it.
Good.
Mark, it's an absolute honor having you here with us. Let me start by thanking you for your time and for your sympathy and warm welcome to our invitation and accepting this. We are very far away, and it's one of the beautiful things of the internet is being able to connect with you all the way from Mozambique to Fiji. And and let me tell you this, Mark. We've been working recently, so this platform is almost celebrating 1 year. So
Yeah.
it's still a baby, but it was created to be a bridge of inspiration between Africa and the world. And we've been talking with amazing people from different parts of the world. And most recently, in the past 2 months, we've been involved in a special edition celebrating a Women's Month in Mozambique. So we did a whole series of 16 lives in 2 months dedicated to women and women empowerment. So it's very good to come back to an international format now. And when we finished that series of dedicated to the Mozambican women and women in general, and we were preparing to go back to an international format, I thought it would be amazing to have a moment of pause, of inspiration, of a reflection, of balance. And that's why I reached to you again to invite you to be our first guest in this new stage and era of Freestyle Talks as we are going to our first anniversary. Because I think us as a human race, as people are all living in these dark times and difficult times of uncertainty with COVID all over the world. And we all need inspiration, and we all need to find peace and balance and some wisdom and guidance. And and this is what I really wanted to share with my audience is to bring you here and to showcase an amazing man who's doing an amazing work and to learn from you, Mark. And this is what I want to do. So I'm really thankful and honored to have you here with us It's morning in Mozambique. I know it's evening there. So please, I think the best way to start the conversation is by introductions. So I would like to invite you to talk a little bit about yourself. Who's Mark Whitwell, for people who don't know a little bit about your work and your career and your journey. I'm sorry. So tell us shortly about you and who's this amazing man.
Thank you so much. Great honor to beam into your house.
Thank you, Mark.
I'm looking at I was looking at the beautiful image of you that has now disappeared from my screen. I'm hoping that we can get it back on again. There you go.
I'm here. There.
Oh,
Here I
nice
am.
sound. Yeah, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. Like it's I would say it's proof of God that we can do this with each other. It's an extraordinary wonder that has come in this technology, that we can get to know each other like this. And I so value your work of putting this out into your world and giving me the opportunity to speak to you and everybody here gathered. Like, what an honor. I am sitting in the South Pacific in Fiji Islands. Here we are a multi-ethnic, multicultural community, different nationalities and ethnicities from all over the world. And we are going through the same events of this pandemic. And it has been, of course, very difficult and much sadness among the people. One of my ancient home, which is India, because was where the Veda was held in the ancient world and where yoga was held, and then given to us, in the recent decades, in the last 40, 50 years, as it came as a global experience. And we're suffering to see much gasping of air in India right now. And it's taken off. And so our hearts are with our friends there. I went to India as a 20-year-old. I was asked to, the passion of life moved me to explore something more than what was being offered in my society. And so I found myself leaving university and going off to India. Later, I came back to university and finished my qualifications in the secular academic world. But I received more education and more wisdom from India than my own society could offer me. And this is basically how each person can enjoy and embrace the reality that is our life. My statement here is that each person is the power of the cosmos. When you really think about it, a life, each body is the cosmos. It is not some sort of sack of meat in an effort to try to get to know God or try to realize something, some ideal in the future. This body is the cosmos. Therefore, all the secrets of the cosmos are in us, as us. The secret of the universe is in you and it's in me. the secrets, the beauty, the intelligence, the intrinsic harmony that this body has with Mother Nature and on which it depends, its context in which this body lives. It's already in place. And it is a beauty that is unspeakable, the natural world. Everything is utterly beautiful in the natural world. And guess what? You and me, we are of the natural world. We are the cosmos. Now, this is not some sort of spiritual statement. It's not a poem to try to make us feel better. It's a sober fact for every person listening to this to reflect on this fact that I just spoke. Each person is the power of the cosmos. Each person is unspeakable beauty. Each person is pure intelligence, how the body is functioning, what is life. Each person is in intrinsic harmony and dependence upon this vast cosmos. India
Great, Mark.
taught me that. My
Please.
teachers taught me that. And I bring it to you.
No, I just wanted to ask you to go back into your teenage years and your childhood, because you said something that really struck and caught my attention, is that you were missing something while going to the school in a Western civilization, while having a normal, standard way of life as a Western teenage boy. Were you different from other people around you? You felt different, or do you also had other peers from your age who also were missing something, or looking at things from a different perspective?
Yes,
And when you, yeah,
that is true. There was a very small demographic of people. These were the people who heard the music of the 60s, who heard this explosion of Black American music that had its roots in Black Africa. And it came into the United States. And this black music was heard by a white audience, by some extraordinary people like Elvis Presley. And then John Lennon saw Elvis Presley and said, I want to be like that. And there was this consciousness explosion, a pulse of beauty, of realness that we actually received from Africa. And it went onto white radio, and I was there in New Zealand, and I was like 15, 16, and I was born in the cusp of those years when we heard that consciousness explosion. And it was like, holy, praise the Lord. Beauty, rhythm, consciousness, movement, dance, celebration of life, but also acknowledging the suffering of life, the blues, the suffering, from where it came, So I was in a small demographic of people who heard that, and it was very small. Somebody said, the explosion of British pop music. There was only 1,000 people living in London who were doing that. Only 1,000. One or two of us at my school, where that made an impact that required a response. It was more than just music. It was more than just a popular cultural phase. It was like a bomb going off in society. And we wanted to know about that. We wanted to know. We wanted to make that music, and we want to explore its roots. And my personal story is that the Beatles, the famous UK pop band, went off to India in their own personal research. They went to Rishikesh in India, and they met a teacher there by the name of Mahesh Yogi, and they had a personal interest in what this matter was. And then they weren't shy about sharing their personal interest to their public. What was special about them is that they remained ordinary people, very ordinary people, while they became super world famous. And there was something very appealing about that, of John Lennon writing later, "A working class hero is something to be." These were very powerful words. They leveled the hierarchy. Now, it's not leveled yet, but they made it clear that each person could celebrate, not just with music, but with an understanding. Each individual could celebrate their own life, their own wonder, their own reality, their own power of the cosmos that is arising as pure intelligence and unspeakable beauty in perfect harmony with the rest of the cosmos. Each person could go, whoa, it was no longer a ladder of climbing. There was a realization that nobody is above you and no one is below you. Nobody. And man is not above woman, and white is not above black, and all that nonsense that was in civilization. It all came tumbling down in popular culture, in the understanding of a few people, just a few, that there is no such thing as superiority and inferiority. There is only life happening as beauty, as reality itself, as each person. That's what was felt and realized. And then we discovered that yoga, as it was given through the wisdom traditions, was the means by which each person could embrace their own reality, the wonder of their own life. And that's what we found out. That's what I found out with my teachers, because I didn't want to stay in the suburbs, getting some kind of academic education so I could be useful in the factories or useful in the universities. I wanted to know about life. So in my dissatisfaction of what was being offered in the usual life, the usual presumption of being a separate body in a separate world of hierarchy, of success and failure by some criteria of measure,
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't good
I
enough
totally
for me.
understand that. And Mark, let me just stop you there for a little minute because we have a few comments coming in. So Natalie is greeting us, Natalie Young. So thank you, Natalie. And also we received two questions from
Yeah.
another viewer. It's Kenny. So thank you, Kenny, for being with us. So Kenny is saying that he really liked your statement that we are the cosmos. So he sends and he puts a couple of questions. So one question is how to manifest such consciousness of being cosmos, how to manifest that. And the second question is what do you say about intuition or universe voices?
Thank you. Thank you, this lovely person who's asked this question, who most of all, you have made this, it is Kenny. Kenny, most of all, you've responded to something that I've said. And I said, you are the power of the cosmos. And Kenny, you have responded like, whoa, I like that. You know what? Because you have recognized the truth of that statement. Now, it's not a religious statement. It's not a spiritual statement. It's not spiritual hopefulness. It is not a beautiful poem. It's a plain fact. It's a fact like 2 + 2 is 4, that kind of fact. It's a fact like the sky is blue, that kind of fact. And Kenny, you've listened to this, you've heard it, and you've gone, you know? And when you hear the truth of this, an ordinary statement, it goes into you, and that truth is with you forevermore. That is undeniable. When you first learned at school that 2 + 2 is 4, you could stop thinking about it, and you just knew. When the fact that you are the cosmos itself goes into you, you just know that. Now, I grant you, there are deep patterns in our society that are presuming that you are a separate body in the cosmos. Automatically, thought structures of our society are presuming that you are a separate person in a separate world, and your life is about struggling in this world, in whatever the criteria of success or hierarchies of attainment or failure are. That's what the usual life is about. But along I come, and thank you so much for letting me say this to you. You're the cosmos. You are the perfect beauty of reality itself. Look at Mother Nature. Everything in the natural world is utter beauty. It is a leaf, a flower, sunlight on the water, all creatures, stars, sun and moon, human being is the natural world, and you are of the natural world, Kenny. Now, because we have been civilized in a world that presumes separation, it does require that you give this fact some serious thought. Like if I'm a school teacher and I'm doing 2 + 2 is 4 and you haven't quite got it yet, I'm going to keep you in at school to help you understand that fact until you've got it, until you go, eureka, I've got it. So I would just ask Kenny that you stay on this consideration that is no more or no less than the first time you heard it. That you are the beauty of the cosmos. You are the power of the cosmos. You are in a vast harmony with all tangible and intangible conditions of this cosmos. There is no problem here to existence. The cosmos doesn't have a problem. The human mind is creating a problem, but you don't have a problem because you are of the cosmos. And these yogas are given as your means of participation in the fact of your reality, capital R reality. So this is the answer to the second part of your question, is just stay with the consideration. You are the cosmos. Be serious about it. Don't take it lightly. Some yoga thing, whatever, some yoga dude. There's lots of them. No, take it very sincerely and seriously. You're the power of the cosmos. It is arising as a pure intelligence, an unspeakable beauty. Your body and mind is in a perfect harmony with the entire cosmos. That is a fact. So stay with that fact. I mean, think about it every day. Without this reality, capital R reality, there'd be nothing else happening. There wouldn't even
That's a
be
fact.
consciousness or the presumption of separation. It wouldn't be there, couldn't be there. And then there is this matter of a yoga that is right for you, for your body type, your age, your health. It's about moving and breathing in a simple way. There's that there for you too, and you can follow up on that, Kenny, if you want to. I have an immersion course that you can study on our website, heartofyoga.com, and people can take it by donation, for $5 or $1 or something, and you can study this for yourself online, and you can get this understanding in you through that method.
And Mark, on that note of your website, let me actually share with our viewers, because I have it ready to show to our viewers a little bit of your amazing website and your work. So here it is on the screen. So this is, and let me put the link on the banner as well. So check www.artofyoga.com.
Thank you
so
so
let's now, my pleasure, it's an honor, as I told you, and let's scroll down. So you are the power of cosmos. You have a section welcoming people to the online Heart of Yoga, some videos, some background, more videos below, an invitation to learn more, so get engaged about classes. We also have publications, private lessons, new courses, online immersion courses, recent writings. So you can find an amazing material in this website, so heartofyoga.com. And we also have some tabs on the top, so about Mark, about programs, about online courses, as Mark was inviting Kenny and all of us to go and check, about studio, blog, podcasting resources. And you can also follow Heart of Yoga on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So make sure to go and check these great websites, and I'm pretty sure you'll find amazing content and inspiration to follow up and dig deeper if you are curious into learning and knowing more about yoga. But Mark, going back to you, one thing I'm very passionate about is about people who find their purpose in life, because a lot of us are kind of lost, especially when we are young and we just go by influence or by trends, what's happening around us. But many people go through their lives without knowing exactly what my mission is, what my purpose is. And some people really take a long time to find that passion and that mission, that sense of purpose. And you found that, and you told me that in your teenage years with the cultural revolution and happening around you.
Yeah.
But not everybody took that to the way you took it. So I'm gonna make my life this. I will devote my time. I will invest my energy and my time into digging
Yes.
deep to this knowledge and this world. What made you go all the way, and not just being like everybody else, just being curious about these new worlds? But what made you, and take me back to that moment of a reflection, of making a decision, of feeling things and having questions maybe? What made you say, this is my life and I will go all the way? I'm going to drop out school, I'm going to leave my country, and this is what I want to be and live.
I hear you. I want to link this conversation to Kenneth's prior question, which was a beautiful question. He said, what about intuition? Now, I do know there is something called intuition, or he described it as an inner voice, something you just know, something tells you, you know. Now, if we give space in our life for that, and especially if we will just do some breathing, move and breathe. Because when my whole body moves and breathes, it links my mind to the body. And the body is the power of the cosmos. Who could create a body? What could create a body? And yet you are a body. And the body is the extraordinary intelligence that is life itself. The body is the cosmos, right? So when you do a yoga practice, many people experience that it just helps them know their directions. Somehow, because, as I said, the secrets of the universe are inside each one of us. They're on the outside too. The secrets of the universe are in my skin. They're in my breath. They're in my whole body. The secret of how the cosmos is functioning is in me, you see. Already, it is my own nature. So if I give a little bit of time to sit back, relax, do some breathing, be connected to the body itself, to start with the body, often what happens is the mind gets linked to the whole body, the mind becomes clear, then it stops thinking. This brain core becomes like a big bowl of receptivity rather than a knot of thinking, a big open bowl. And you go, I want to be a doctor. Or, I want to be a farmer and grow organic food for my community. I want to build a boat. I want to be a mother. I want to be a father. I want to have a family like that. It just comes. Sometimes this just knowing what is your direction and purpose in life. In fact, I can tell you, it's one of the definitions of yoga, and it's a beautiful definition. It's the second sutra of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Yogaha chitta vritti nirodha, some ancient Sanskrit. And that is, yoga is to bring consciousness, via the mind into a direction of choice with continuity. Then you know the direction, but in so knowing the direction, you know yourself. You know the one who knows. And so the yoga teacher's role is to help each person find the choice of direction that's right for them. Not just following the teacher. My teacher used to say, following the guru's destination is another way of losing yourself. So this is not about religion or cultism or following a charismatic person or anything like that. It's about finding the directions that are right for you, to find your way home into your life as it actually is what the yoga teacher, as a friend, no more than a friend, no less than a friend, the yoga teacher helps you do that. I just want to slip in here to this conversation, and thanks for letting me speak. I had two friends from Uganda come on to my workshop, and they spent 3 weeks with us and did this learning. And they went back to Uganda. Their name is Stuart and Lawrence, just young men, and now they're very busy in Uganda, helping all kinds of people of all different ages move and breathe. Young people, middle-aged people, old people, move and breathe and relax into life as it actually is. And therefore, in time, and maybe quite quickly, either suddenly or gradually, they know their directions. They feel their passion in life. Now, this is not a matter of avoiding pain or avoiding tragedy, avoiding the deep sorrow that is with us in these times. Well, it's always been there, but we now have our own very sad circumstance in the world. And there is deep sorrow there. And my teacher used to say, just look at the sorrow, look at it. Don't look left, don't look right. Look at the sorrow, look at the pain. Pain is real. There's very real reason for grief. So be willing. One of our directions is to go to the sorrow, which is actually our real condition, our true feeling, because it is valid and necessary. When we lose a brother to COVID or lose our mother to COVID, these very sad things that are happening. So the willingness to be with the sorrow that is in our humanity. And from sorrow comes passion and compassion and the action of compassion and the realization of love, which is the unity of life. Is a unity. Everything is happening as a unity, you see. There's nothing separate. Like I said, this body is not separate from the cosmos. Life is a unity, and in that unity, we can take some steps, some action to help others. So thereby we know our purpose, you see. To be helpful to others is...
No, I just wanted to also, because I know you had an opportunity to learn with some very wise people. And I would like to know more about that experience of having that direct contact with such great minds and great wisdom, and the impact they had on your life and what you do now.
Yes. The great teacher, yoga master that I met, his name was Tirumalai Krishnamacharya. And I studied with him and his son, mainly with his son, whose name was Desikachar. And I did a book for Desikachar in 1995 called The Heart of Yoga, which was a first real explanation into the world, and even within India, of what Krishnamacharya was teaching, what is something about his scholarship, particularly about yoga. So I put a book together for my teacher Desikachar and for Krishnamacharya, and this book is called The Heart of Yoga, Developing a Personal Practice. So yes, it was a great privilege to meet such people. They were born, Krishnamacharya was born into a family of religious scholars, really, scholars of Vedanta, which is the great philosophical non-dual Advaita Vedanta, the philosophy of non-dualism or of God realization, of not two, but one reality, no divisiveness, no separation, one reality arising as all of us, is Vedanta, you see. And within Vedanta in the 10th century arose a very clear statement from one of their great acharyas, Ramanuja Acharya, which was there must be yoga. It is yoga that joins the two to become one. It's a simple statement. That the two, the opposites, are already in union as one. See, there is no left without right. There's no above without below. There's no inhale with exhale. There is no strength without receptivity. There is no male without female. Whether we're in a socially recognized male body or a socially recognized female body, we are all male, female, and that we came from male, female parents. So this was the teaching that brought yoga to Vedanta in the 10th century. And my teacher, Krishnamacharya, was a great scholar and spent 11 years studying in the universities of Varanasi, the hub of Hindu philosophy, but then needed yoga because it was very much a part of his cultural understanding. But yoga had deteriorated. It had disappeared from the world from the 14th century, because what happened in Asia was male orthodoxy, spirituality came in the package of authority and power structure. See, religion and spirituality has only been a power structure. It hasn't been about the empowerment of each individual as the power of the cosmos, see. And so this yoga got hidden from the public. And our teacher, Krishnamacharya, he came along and he found it in isolation in Tibet. And he stayed 7.5 years there as a young man. And he brought it down to Mysore in India. And then it spread from there as a popular thing in the world. Except in the West, they popularized yoga as gymnastics, as fanatical sort of fitness industry. And it totally went off beam. You know, it dislodged itself from the actual tradition of yoga. And so the Heart of Yoga puts it back in again, these principles that Krishnamacharya and his brilliant son Desikachar brought forth. That's in that book, The Heart of Yoga. And they clarified this matter of what is yoga actually, and how does any person do it in the way that is right for them, according to their body type, age and health, and their cultural background. This is why I love the Heart of Yoga in Africa, the work that's going on, because I see them adapting yoga to the culture of Africa. And it's beautiful to see. it was part of Krishnamacharya's scholarship that yoga was not religion. Yoga was not Hinduism. Yoga was universal to all cultural groups and all language groups, all points of view, as a practical means by which each person can actualize the beautiful ideals within culture. So it went like this. So to answer your question, I was very privileged to run off to India, inspired by the explosion of Black American music, that had its roots. And I was so happy, when Paul Simon went into Africa and he did that album called Gracelands. It was so happy. Paul Simon came to Fiji, where I live, which is mostly brown, indigenous people and Indian people, and it made them so happy to meet Paul, and to be able to. And Paul was so happy to hear them say, "Your music, it made me feel so good about my life," Anyway, so a little diversion, but Paul Simon recognized what was great there in Africa. And he got it and he packaged it up and put it together and brought it into the world, really. And it was a great, great work. Like Johnny Clegg and Savuka, this great, collusion of minds going into and bringing this out like this. It's a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. So,
Indeed.
Yoga just belongs in there as each person's birthright to enjoy and embrace the wonder which is existence, and to throw off the hierarchy of struggle that is essentially abusive on people. It's abusive to put people on a linear struggle of doing some crazy gymnastics or some crazy meditation or religious philosophy, trying to get to a future place where, like, here is God. What could create a hand? What could create skin? What could create a breathing organism? Here it is. It's not elsewhere. So
I think, yeah, I think I understand exactly what you are saying. It's not about following. It's not about having a look outside. It's more about awakening something inside of you and discovering that you are a whole, you are perfect, and you are part of this beautiful universe. Yes. And it's about looking in and not looking outside as much, in a way. So I just want to also greet Lisa Maria Becker, who is greeting us as well. Lisa, thank you. And Mark, one other thing now, as we are 1 year now, 1 year and a half dealing with COVID-19, how do you see the evolution of people looking for your help or looking for your guidance? Is it increasing? Do you feel people are in more need of yoga than ever before, or is it as it was before? Can you tell me a bit more about this evolution of yoga during COVID?
Yes, thank you for this beautiful question and for the preparation that you've gone to have this conversation. I appreciate it very, very much. Yes, there is a very strong need that has arisen in the world because the usual life, the usual economies have been taken off us. The usual pastimes like sport, for example, and any gatherings have been taken off us for quite a long time now. And people have had to resort to what is most basic about life. Most basic. And that is that each person is alive as life, you know. And much of what has occupied us and distracted us, and also distracted us from really looking at the pain that has been created, that mankind has, you know, put on mankind, the, you know, way humanity treat each other, and the pain that has arisen in all of that, let alone the climate issues and the, you know, the climate chaos and the toxicity that's on the planet and all the health issues and all the pandemics, of which there are many. We've all been distracted by that usual life of, you know, stimulation, of sport and money and career and economies of every kind, you know, going to the moon, wow, how exciting, you know, all of that. Trying to make oxygen on Mars, where we can't even provide the sick with oxygen at home, you know. And we've had time now to reflect upon that. We've been forced to learn how to be content as simply to be alive, as life itself. So many sensitive people in my world have, who I've never actually personally met, not in the same two bodies in the same room. I have met, like I'm meeting you, definitely I'm meeting through, you know, light through glass. You know, thank you, Apple. Thank you, Steve Jobs. Light through glass and heart to heart. I come right into your room and I meet you. It's like, yay, you know. And we meet each other. We get to know each other, really to know each other as friends. That has happened. And it's happened in gatherings just like this, on gatherings of light through glass, heart to heart, of people all over the world. And what they're learning to do is to be content in their own skin, to be content in their own reality, capital R, reality, the power of the cosmos that brought us here in the first place and that presently beats my heart and moves my breath. That power, that is my pure essence, my existingness, you know. So that's what it was like in the ancient world. Yoga was something that you did in your own home, in the sanctuary of your own house. You didn't go to yoga in large groups and do some sort of patterned gymnastics that everybody tries to do, you know, like a cookie cutter. You know, my teacher used to say yogis are not built on assembly lines. Yoga is very personal. It's something you do in your own house, in your own culture, in the way that's right for you, your own body type, your own age and health, like that. And you do this moving and breathing, you see, using the anatomy to engage the breath. And this moving anatomy enhances the breath. It makes the breath stronger and longer. And the ancient people would say that breath is the primary critical function of the whole body, not the heartbeat. If you strengthen the breath, then all other critical functions of the body increase, right? That's the secret of yoga, to work with the breath, not struggle with the breath, but just be with the breath and using the anatomy to be with the breath. Then the health of the system improves very quickly. And especially in this time of the respiratory illness that we are under, that we are suffering, very helpful to engage the breath. And we on exhale, we release what we don't need. Exhale, we release what is old so that we can receive what is new on the inhale, right? Or we empty what is too full, and then we fill what is too empty. This inhale, exhale. That's what we do. And the beauty of it is that anybody can do it. Anybody at home, anybody listening to this. By tomorrow morning, you can be doing a practice of inhale, exhale, linking the mind to the whole body. When you link the breath to the whole body, the mind follows the breath. And therefore, the mind becomes linked to the whole body. The mind becomes linked to its source, which is life itself. The mind becomes clear. The brain core becomes receptive, like a big bowl, like this, not a knot of thinking and worrying. And we often then develop clarity about our purpose and what we want to do, as we discussed before.
And Mark, another thing I want to ask you as we are going into our final minutes here in the conversation, I want to ask you if you are optimistic, an optimist about the future, about what's to come, about these all vaccines, and is COVID coming to an end? How is the new normal? How is life after this? So,
Yeah,
are you optimistic about our future?
I am optimistic because I think this time, this last year, has made us more serious. And I don't mean humorless, but serious or more sincere about what us humans need to do to cooperate with each other, and what we need to do to cooperate with the ecologies of Mother Nature that we depend upon. You know, the human species, we've messed up our own nest. And we've even messed up with each other. You know, there are patterned thought structures, you know, what being played out with one pattern, my view in opposition to your view, and it's a mass dissociation, you see. And this sort of over stressing and overproduction and over use of resources toxifies the planet and the oceans. We've had to look at it more sincerely, more seriously. And there will come from that some great cultural changes, just like what happened in the 60s, like I spoke of, when, you know, black music came through the United States, then onto the world, and we could feel the pulse of our own organisms, and we could celebrate life rather than the dreadful, dark dreariness of Europe and the colonization of the Americas and the colonization of Australia, New Zealand, and Africa, and all of that dreadful darkness that went into that created the public life for the last 50, 100 years, you know, of suffering, let alone what happened before then. And I feel like we're lifting the lid off that, and we're seeing the problem, and we're able now to look at it clearly and do something about it. So I am optimistic. I think, you know, in the great Vedic tradition, especially in the goddess traditions, the feminine divine, when somebody gets sick, it's considered to be a visitation of the goddess that has come to make a correction on the organism that's unwell. And it is considered to be a blessing, see? And I think this is the only way to look at this. It is a blessing. I mean, it's not a pleasant blessing. There's much suffering in that, to be sick, to become sick, either personally or publicly. But it is a visitation, and illness is demanding change, whether we believe in a sort of divine intervention or not. Just illness itself is a demand for change. And if we don't change, then we die. So I think I'm optimistic that humanity has been put in a position where we can think more carefully about what we must do. And that these treasures of our ancient people, this, well, particularly this yoga that I can teach because of the people that I was with in my early life, it is one of the great cultural treasures that humanity has come up with so far. For 1,000 years it flourished from the 5th to the 14th century and then got chopped off by male orthodoxy. And that was only interested in public control, not the celebration of each individual life. This cultural treasure can now be given because we're a little more serious about what we're doing. You know, we've seen through the hoax of selling gymnastics by, yoga male celebrities or female celebrities, teaching people how to do acrobatics. It's a hoax. It didn't work. It made people die even. It wore the joints out and created nervous disorders in the system. And it was a diversion, see. It happened because the young men who ran away from Krishnamacharya early in their life and turned yoga into business, just only business, fitness industry like that. My teacher called it mediocre gymnastics being called yoga and put on the public. So now we can be a little more sincere about using these cultural treasures that were about the human cooperation with each other and the human cooperation with Mother Earth, where the earth is honored, you see. This got destroyed by European colonialism throughout the Americas, throughout Africa, throughout Australia, New Zealand. That's what happened. And it is time now. I said one of the pandemics that's arisen in the United States is the final recognition of colonial abuse. The final recognition of the dreadful fault of slavery in the US for 400 years and what happened. And that, the white society is still using its policing as a way of public control of that insanity that went on there in colonialism. And I feel like I am optimistic because I feel like there is a sincere turnaround in the public mind. And it's happening en masse. And yoga is one of those treasures that is filtering through, in a sincere way, and people are making use of it. And I just mentioned my friends again, Stuart and Lawrence in Uganda, who just in a very 2 short years, they've hit the ground running, and they've got many, many people moving and breathing and embracing the reality of their life, the power of the cosmos, that is the fact of their existence, see? And this is what we need on the planet these days.
And also, Mark, just to wrap up, also reinforce the invitation for people to check your website. Once again, in the banner on the screen, so heartofyoga.com. And we also have another website, so this is www.markwhitwell.org. So this is to know more about Mark's work as an author. So please check both of these websites and you can find very useful information. And also the YouTube channel, Heart of Yoga. And also on your YouTube channel, Mark, I found one video that really touched me and impacted me, that is that video of stop looking, start living. And I think that is what we need, especially right now. So
Yes.
the world is showing us what's really important, and through COVID, as you very well said, we got time to realize who's really important and what's really important in our lives. And that's us, our body, the cosmos, people we love, human connection, human relations, emotion. So now it's time to stop looking and really just start living and being ourselves and exploring and living that power of cosmos you
Yes.
always talk about. So that video is also a recommendation I leave to people to go and check. It's a 6 minutes video, but I think it's very, very powerful.
Thank
And
you. Thank you for saying that. I'm going to find that video and post it and say, my friend from Mozambique said, listen to this. Thank you so
no,
much.
no, definitely, definitely. And Mark, once again, I thank you. So it has been an honor really talking to you. It exceeded my expectations, and I had high expectations about you. And one thing I have to confess you is that you don't preach you are not a preacher, so you don't come here to say, "Follow me, do as I say." Your message is all about empowering people. It's all about freedom, and it's all about inspiration. And I think that's very beautiful because it's not a trap. It doesn't feel forced. It's not come with me. It's not be a part of my tribe, or I'm your guru. It's not that. It's you are an amazing person, and you just have to live that and be yourself and be happy and be whole. And I think that's very pure in a way and very powerful. So I really thank you for being like that. And I believe many people can find inspiration in this conversation and in your work. And really thank you for your time and for being here with us.
Well, you are an amazing person. And everybody listening is an amazing person. Everybody listening is the power of the cosmos, the unspeakable beauty. You are the beauty of reality itself. You know, you don't have to find it, you are it. Stop looking, start living. Thank you for saying that. And I
That's a
want to
great
mention
quote.
that if anybody listening wants some personal tuition, we do that, online at our studio. It's got Heart of Yoga Studio, and you find it through heartofyoga.com. And for very low cost, but it comes by donation, so people don't have to measure their worry about the money side of it. People, they have it for free, uh, just to give the yoga. That's what it's all about. And if anyone listening here wants to join some classes there and get some personal instruction from me and my friends, they're so welcome. And I'd love that to happen. Or one or two people pop up and say, "Hey, well, I listened to you guys, and now here I am." That would be special.
So
And
once
as I said,
again, it's here the link to the website, so
yeah,
people go and check it out and contact Mark and his team. And Mark, once again, thank you very much, and keep doing what you are doing because we need people like you, and we need more moments like this. And I'm very proud of having you as a part of Freestyle Talks now, of our family and of our history and legacy. What we are building here, trying to become a bridge of inspiration, has now become better and stronger because of this 1 hour of conversation and incredible content and messages. So really thank you because it's really very aligned with what we want to do, that is to inspire people and to help everybody becoming the best version themselves in different ways. And you talk a lot about Africa, and I'm also very proud to hear your understanding of our continent and of our history and tradition and culture. So, what a special moment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You've inspired me to go to link between the South Pacific and Africa. Hallelujah, how beautiful this is. And while we've been talking, the rains came down very heavily, which is a shamanic sign of grace falling, on us, that this was valuable to have this dialogue between hearts, glass to glass, heart to heart. And the rain came down. So thank you
It's a
so much.
blessing. It's a blessing. Thank you, Mark. And feel free to pop up again if you have any new book, any new project, and you want to share with our audience. A Freestyle Talks always has a door open, so feel free to contact us. Okay.
And send me a link, and I'll send out our conversation to our world.
Thank you, Mark. So we keep in touch, and thank you very much. So thank you, everybody, and this was our conversation with Mark Whitwell. So if you want to know more about Mark's world work, go and visit markwhitwell.org or heartofyoga.com. And once again, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll be back again next Friday at 6 p.m. Mozambique time with a very interesting guest. I won't make a revelation now, but stay tuned, and in the next week we will launch the poster and information about that. And we will also be here on Monday to watch a movie online on the project Moz Monday Movies. So we'll watch a Mozambican short movie and have an opportunity to engage with the director of that movie and his team. So stay tuned. We have a lot of interesting things coming up. We are almost celebrating 1 year of Freestyle Talks. So very exciting news coming, very exciting projects and new things on the horizon. But stay tuned, subscribe and engage with us either on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, and let us know who would you like to see here on Freestyle Talks, any topics, any people. So let us know, reach out and engage with us, because we are really doing this to inspire you to become better and to be yourself. And as Mark very well said in the conversation we just finished, stop looking, start living. So we will see you next week. Thank you very much and stay safe.